One of my favorite things to do is to help either new roofing companies or existing roofing companies branch into digital marketing. Why? Because I have had the pleasure of helping a roofing company in Eustis, Florida start their digital marketing journey and eventually scale their business to 18 crews and sell for $60 million. It retired the mom, the dad, who were the original owners, and the son. And it revolutionized their life. And in today's video, I'm going to walk you through how to start your journey to building a successful roofing empire by turning on and using one of the simplest digital marketing tools available, and that is Google Local Services. But before we get into the video, if we haven't met yet, my name is Preston, this is Results Digital, and we are the nation's top digital marketing agency just for roofing companies. So if that's something that you need, there's a link in the description where you can schedule a free strategy call and let's see if there's a fit. And also, if you find this video helpful, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel so that you can follow the journey and grow your roofing business to be a dominant player in your local market. Now, on to the lesson. So what is Google Local Services? So, because Google likes to confuse people, there's Google Ads. And when people refer to Google Ads, it could be the original Google Ads, which is pay-per-click. It's where it shows at the very top and it says sponsored or ad. But there's another subset of Google Ads called Google Local Services. And that appears at the very, very top of your search, of the search engine. And that will usually say Google Guaranteed or Google Screened. And it appears at the very top, and it takes up a lot of real estate or scroll depth on your mobile phone. But it appears above everything else. That is Google Local Services, or LSA for short. It's commonly referred to as LSA. What is LSA? So, within Google Ads, you have LSA and Google Ads proper, or PPC, pay-per-click. Okay? Pay-per-click means that you're paying every time someone clicks on your ads. This is the OG, the original Google Ads. It's AdWords. You're paying every time they click on your ad. It doesn't mean that they became a customer. It doesn't mean it was a real lead. It just means that you're paying to get people to click on your ad whenever they put in a certain search phrase or search term. That's old school Google Ads. LSA, on the other hand, is what is called pay per lead. All right, so only if it's a lead are you paying for that lead. It's pay per lead, and it's usually anywhere from $25, $50, $75. It can even go up to $200 or $250. If it's a roofing lead and Google knows it's a roofing lead that is going to make you $20,000 to $30,000, they have no problem charging you $250 for that, especially because it is you're paying for the lead itself. So that is what LSA is. That is what Google Local Services is. It's a pay per lead system, and it doesn't mean that the lead's exclusive to you. The searcher could look for roof replacement near me, click on your LSA ad, call you, book a quote, and then once he hangs up, just go to the next listing, click on them, and call them and get a roof replacement quote as well. So it doesn't mean that they're exclusive to you, but it also doesn't mean that Google's selling the lead to 10 other companies. It's at the discretion of the searcher, of the person looking for the roof replacement services or roofing services, whatever it might be. Siding, gutters, fascia, soffit, roof replacement, roof repair. It could be any of those, right? So it's determined by how many different companies that person contacts. So if they contact you because you're the first one on the list, well, Google's going to charge you whatever the cost of that lead is, right? But then if the person calls 4 other companies, well, Google just made money off of the 5 different roofing companies that the person called, hypothetically, in that situation. So that is what Google Local Services is. It's a pay per lead situation. And it's managed almost entirely by Google. Now, we as an agency are masters at optimizing Google Local Services accounts, and there is an optimization process. But what I want to do is I actually want to hop in the dashboard and walk you through what the LSA dashboard looks like and how exactly it works, because I think that will give you a good understanding of how you could use this to grow your business. So I'm going to go ahead and shrink my pretty face and put up a screen share so you could see exactly what the LSA dashboard does. Okay, we are here in the LSA dashboard, and this is kind of where it starts, where you get an LSA account set up. Now, I've blocked off everything, but they require proof of insurance. They're going to require any type of licenses and certifications required in your local jurisdiction. They're going to want to see that your insurance is up to date, see that all your licenses are up to date. It's going to differ from state to state. I've used this example before that if you're looking for something in Texas, it's a lot looser regulation than it is in Florida. They're also going to, of course, have your payment card on file. They're going to have a background check. So whoever the principals, plural, of the company are going to have to go through a background check. And the next thing is it's linked to your Google business profile. So your Google business profile, this is where I've made in another video about why your LSA account isn't working like it should. Well, one of the reasons is it's linked to your Google business profile, and if you don't have ever increasing reviews, that's a trust signal that Google looks for. So you have bidding and optimization. Again, in this particular instance, the client is willing to spend $2,700 a month or a week, or $11.9 thousand every month. Now, they're not going to spend that unless the leads are available for that, and unless Google is sending the leads to them for that. So let's go over to the next page, which is profile and budget. So here in the profile and budget area, it's again linked to your Google business profile. I have the name whited out here, but you can see it's verified. It has the postal code of the location, the address, the phone number. It has the website, and then if you go into the business bio, you're able to select items that are applicable to you. Again, here under bidding, you're able to say, hey, I'm willing to spend $2,700 a week. Now, if that is not available, then you're not going to be able to spend that. So, moving here under job types, you could tell Google, hey, I want to not only go for roofing jobs, but I also want to go for siding jobs. And you can see all the different jobs that are toggled on here for roofing and also for siding. So gutters kind of falls under as a subset for roofing. If you also did windows, then windows would be in there as well. And soffit and fascia would go under roof damage repair and roof repair. So that is one that roofers in Florida hate getting calls for soffit and fascia, but unfortunately it's a part of roof repair. Next, you add in the photos that you're going to, again, you should be adding photos to your Google business profile and also photos to your LSA account. And LSA will figure out what photos work the best to get someone to click on their ad. On the ad. These are just the notification settings. You put the business hours that you actually want to receive phone calls. Now, pro tip here, I've said this and I will beat this horse. It's dead from me beating it so much. I'm going to continue to beat it. Do not use a voice AI answering service to answer your LSA calls. Do not use an answering service, whether that's a US-based answering service, an India-based answering service, Philippines, it does not matter. Make sure that this is being answered, that you are only running ads during the time that you and your staff American-based staff are going to answer the calls and route the calls. And again, if you understand that this could be a $100 call, and if you answer it, the likelihood of getting a sale might be great, pretty high. But if someone overseas answers it, you might have just thrown $100 away. Or if an answering service or goes to voicemail or something like that. So you might have just thrown away $100. So only put in the hours that you plan to actually answer the phone. Next, you have your service areas. Again, I had these kind of grayed out, but you could choose the areas that you want to show your ads in. All right, and I suggest that you use counties. That's the easiest way to segment it. When you start doing little zip codes, it gets very finicky. And so now let's move on to what do the leads look like when they come in. Make sure that whatever email that you put in to receive notifications that's installed on your mobile phone, that you're getting them as soon as they happen, and that you're also logged into the LSA app on your phone. So in this particular case, this job came in as a gutter installation, and you can see it's a message right here. And on the message, you could see the potential customer said that they need to replace the gutters in the front and the back of the house. And then the client responded back to them, and they were able to communicate using Google's form notifications. And so this goes straight to the person sending it. So this person searched for gutter installer near them, and what the LSA dashboard prompted them to fill in the form or place the call. They chose to fill in the form right there on the Google search interface, and this is where it showed up, and this is where you would respond to it. Now, this particular one is a phone call, and you can see they searched for roofer, and the phone call was 35 seconds, so probably the phone was not answered in time. And so it doesn't mean that the business owner didn't call them back, it just means that the phone wasn't answered. Now, you also have the ability within LSA, local service ads, to dispute leads. Because you're paying for the lead, you can see in this particular case, the client was charged. Our client was charged by Google for this lead. It means that if I listen to the voicemail, it was probably a legitimate lead. And I have the ability to rate the lead. Am I satisfied, dissatisfied? If I say I'm satisfied, and I can put one of these right here. If I say that I'm dissatisfied, I can choose one of these. And so I have ability to rate the lead. I can mark it as booked. That's an important, both rating the lead and marking it booked are important signals that you need to send back to Google in order to train their algorithm on how to work, how to go find you more qualified leads. So just to show you live, I looked for roofer near me. Now, it showed right here, this Google guaranteed. And notice how it shows above the sponsored results right here. So this is a Google ad right here, right where my mouse cursor is. And then right here, where my mouse cursor is, that's a Google guaranteed. So you're able to, and then down here you have the maps. So these are all sponsored results. These are Google ads. And then these are Google guaranteed. So notice how Google guaranteed gets the premium spot at the very top. And they're able to view more in Google ads, view more results. So that is how Google Local Services works. That's what the interface looks like. So the one thing to remember about Google Local Services is that it's a very low barrier to entry. You have to have 5 reviews on your Google business page, and they should be legitimate reviews. If you're not building a review system to build Google reviews, you've already got a serious problem. But it's low barrier to entry once you have those 5 reviews, once you have the background check, your insurances, certifications, whatever licenses are required, you can turn them on. Now, where a lot of roofers go wrong is they think, oh, It's like a billboard. Once I put the billboard up, it just works. It doesn't just work. There are optimizations that have to happen on your LSA account in order to train Google's algorithm how to get what it is that you're looking for, and to get it at the volume that you're looking for. And there are certain configurations, for instance, if you have multiple locations, that need to be taken into consideration. But that's where we can help. See, we specialize in just helping roofers, and so we know how to configure your LSA account so that Google can start to learn, you can get leads, and I think this is a great place to start for a business that's never dipped their toe in the water of digital marketing. This is the place to start. Our cost, our fee to you as the roofer to manage and optimize is very low, and the cost with Google is very reasonable. It allows for very quick wins. It allows you to get additional revenue coming in for the least amount of ramp up time. And so I would suggest every roofer that is not currently running LSA ads to start today, to start this month. And if you need help with that, that's why we exist as an agency. Don't forget to look in the description. You can book a strategy call with us and we can see if it's a fit. Now, we only work with one roofer in an area. So there are certain markets that are already blocked off. But once you're in that market and you're our client, we then rope off that area and you're the only date that we're taking the prom. We're going to be loyal to you and to helping your roofing business dominate your local area. So if this video was helpful, please like it. Also consider subscribing, and don't forget to schedule your free strategy call in the description below. Until next time, Results Digital out.